All right, welcome to Aball Sports. Here with Mr. Jordan Forte once again. Um, we're looking ahead at the World Cup. This official Jamaica is not qualified, so we just have to look ahead. On a more positive note. So looking at the groups have been announced for a few days now, right? Been a few days. We're looking at everything, and we decided we're going to give you guys a general reaction to the groups, general what we expect, our general predictions, and maybe looking at who we think is going to win it all. All right, so we're looking at Group A first. We have Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. I think the Netherlands has gotten a really good group for themselves here. I think they should top their group. The Netherlands should top the group. They didn't qualify for the last World Cup. It was the last one or 2014? It was the last one. 2018. Yeah, 2018 they didn't qualify. They're back now, looking quite strong. They missed Virgil van Dijk in the Euros. He's back in the squad now. Frankie de Jong looking renewed under Xavi. Memphis Depay had a bit of a injury trouble in the last couple of months, but he's still, still looking, quite strong.
Him look good for Netherlands all the time.
Yeah,
despite him club performances.
Other quality players, Gravenberch, other great quality players. Even Van de Beek, even though he's not getting his time. United had to move on to Everton on loan, but if Eric Ten Hag comes in, he should be getting his time at United. Mm-hmm. But that's for a separate video. Yeah, so Group A is Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands. Who do you guys think is gonna top that group?
I think Netherlands should top the group, obviously. Mm-hmm. I think Senegal comes second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think if you look at, there's just a general point about all the groups. Mm-hmm. The first thing that jumped out to me there doesn't seem to be a group of death. At every World Cup, you generally have a group of death.
But when we get there,
okay, all right, we might get there. But I think if you look at all the group, like you just said, you think Netherlands and Senegal will come out of the group. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And I think when we'll go through, but I think when we'll go through the groups, for most of them, I think we're going to find out we're going to see the seeded teams. We think they will go through.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I think who we think is going to go through is going to be fairly unanimous amongst us.
Fairly
unanimous. Yeah.
Somewhere along the way we're going to disagree. No, trust me.
Yeah, we probably won't be all the way correct.
Then if there's no group of death, then that's what's going to happen. The seeded teams will go through.
I have a surprise for you guys in one of the early groups. Yeah.
All right, so Group B, it hasn't been filled out just yet. Mm-hmm. So Group B have England, Iran, the USA, and either Ukraine, Scotland, or Wales.
All right, so this is the surprise group here for me. And you guys are going to be surprised with my predictions, but I have it's going home, as in they're going home. I don't think they will.
You don't think England gets out of that group?
No, I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You better start talking.
Yeah,
let me tell you why.
Must be something you must know something we don't.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. And again, we're going to discuss this hopefully closer to the time, but I'm talking about right now at the beginning of April. So I have a couple months left. Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like, coaching wise, I feel they're awful. They don't have a good coach. Him don't know what I'm doing. And I feel like he's somewhat of a hypocrite in terms of what he says versus what he does. For example, he went out publicly and said he picks his team based on form, yet still Harry Maguire is in the squad. That's just one example. And touching on that point of Harry Maguire, I have no confidence in any team with Harry Maguire being their central defender. I mean, that's just a hold on. That's just the truth. I have no faith in that team. With Harry Maguire being your central.
This current one,
yeah.
Because I was saying that team went to the semi-final.
But that's what I'm saying. I have to talk about it right now.
Yeah, Harry Maguire for United and Harry Maguire for England are generally two different people.
Yeah, but even apart from when him did score for, he hasn't been having good performances for England lately.
So you think it's a back five tax?
Huh?
You think it's a back five tax why he's been looking decent for England? You think it's that he has help from two other centre backs and full backs as well?
Of course, he might have Kyle Walker beside him. And if they go into the competition and they play him and Tyrone Mings, they're definitely not going to. Well, let's not talk about
Tyrone Mings doesn't start.
let's not talk about that.
Tyrone Mings doesn't start.
But I know it's so controversial, but on a very serious note, I'll explain as to why I don't think so. I just don't think they have any let me change what I said. Let me not say I don't think they're going to go through. I wouldn't be surprised if England does not go through. Let me say that. I feel like that's much better. I feel like I don't know who this guy is going to play. I don't know if Amais is staying on the bench on game. And I don't know who's going. I don't know if I'm going to carry Sancho. Saka should, based on form, play every single game.
I actually think.
I don't know who's going to play central midfield either. Is Henderson?
It's going to
he
be,
have a
it's
bunch
going to
exactly,
be,
but he has a bunch of. There's no doubt. The England talent is not my problem, you know.
It's going to be Declan
Rice.
Rice.
Declan Rice is going to play,
and who else?
Probably Calvin Phillips if he's fit.
Yeah, Deckers and Calvin. I mean, we have to go based on the fact that he generally doesn't rotate his squad.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
So when you say you don't know who's going to go, I was thinking, but actually,
we can have
I think I know who will go because
guesses,
I think it will be the same people who went to Euro.
But he's been so that was my point. He recently him saying, you know, he said that he picked players based on form, and then he called up a team, and he gave a few players, you know, debut, and then he called up a few other players, just based on right now. Like I say, it's April at the time of recording. A lot of those players that he carried to the Euros, either A, don't deserve a place in the squad right now, or B, they're in very bad form. We obviously the obvious ones: Rashford, Sancho for one, obviously Harry Maguire.
I think he has, as Aiden said, he has tried to be stable actually with his squad. Even I think his thing is to pick players based on international form and not club form. Yeah. So I think even if a player goes back to his club and is not exhibiting good form, the fact that he played well for the national team in the previous round of fixtures, I think he just go back with them.
I've just watched.
I think he's actually very predictable with who his squad.
I've just.
I don't
watched,
think that's a very good trait in a coach.
I've just watched so many games of the recent games. I mean, despite the scoreline, and obviously the scoreline have a lot to do with who you play, but you have to play who's in front of you. Where if I can sit from my coach and I know how England is going to play, and if somebody playing against them should be able to do the same. And it's not like they're playing in the scrubs. Wales is a better unit of a team, I think, than like just how they play. Like they're a better unit as a team, and tactically they're superior in my opinion than them.
Let the record show, Javon Main says that Gareth Bale and friends.
Oh no, first of all, Bale probably scored a hat-trick against England. But anyway, let's not talk about it. They're not a better team, as in a better unit. Like they play more as a team than them.
Let the record show that Javon.
Let the record show
that.
Alright, so he said a better unit.
A better unit, not a better squad.
They don't have a better collection of talent.
Okay,
of course.
Just to be explicitly clear about what you're saying right now, you're saying that Robson Kanu is a better player than Jadon Sancho.
I didn't know. That's definitely not what I said.
I'm hearing that Wayne Hennessy is a better striker than Harry Kane. Is that what I'm asking? I'm just asking.
Wayne Hennessy is the keeper.
Yeah.
Is he better than Jordan Pickford? Anyway,
I'm
I'm saying that as a unit, watching them play for something, they play better than England. Anyways, to give my prediction for the group, it should be England and US. However, I would not be surprised if it's Wales and US.
Ukraine, Scotland, or Wales still.
Yeah, but
you don't think either of those, any of those teams?
I don't think Scotland or Ukraine beat. First of all, when will that game be played? Which is an important factor. When will that game be played? And I don't think either of them beat Wales. I think Wales and Portugal, to be very honest, were very unfortunate to end up in the situation that they ended up in terms of the playing. We're not going to talk about the ball that went across the line against Serbia, which led them to having to play those playoff games. But that's Portugal. But I think it should be England and the US. But I just wanted to let you guys know, just so when it happens, I said it first, that I would not be very surprised if England gives us a performance that they gave us in 2014. That's when they got 1 point.
I think that
was the year they got 1 point and dropped out in the group stage, right?
Yeah, I think that England team, they're heading to this World Cup, first of all, with a lot of youth, and second of all, on the back of a emotional Euro loss. Like, I feel like they're almost coming to this World Cup with like an extra motivation almost. You know, you lose the Euro final. I mean, yeah, I feel a lot of people come with.
But is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
I put it this way: English fans will be behind England this World Cup more than ever.
They're always behind.
Yeah,
their fans.
always.
They're
But I think
actually
it's
the
going to be
most
even crazier
delusional
this year.
international. They might be the most delusional international fans. I always
no.
compare England fans to like Tottenham and Arsenal fans. Is they don't win they don't win anything, but I mean maybe if we had that locally, maybe it would be in a better place. But they're the most delusional.
Arsenal
supporter.
has won things.
Fear. I just don't like them. Chelsea fan and all, but Tottenham
England won
fans
the
for
World Cup
sure.
in 1966.
Bro, I don't even think my parents were born in.
And that's the last trophy. It's not the last trophy period.
So I think we all agree that it should be England and the US. Definitely who comes first and who comes second is important.
At least England has ground to stand on. Like, what does Belgium have to stand on?
Who, Belgium?
Name an international honor won by Belgium ever.
Why are we using Belgium as an example?
I'm just saying, you say England fans are the most delusional, but
I don't think Belgium fans are delusional. I think that they said that they're in a they have a golden generation, and they should have done better with it. I generally believe if we were to go back to I don't remember if it was the Euros.
Yeah, I'm not saying Belgium fans.
They should have beat France that year. They lost to France, and then France went to the final.
Whenever Belgium drops out of an international competition, it's always a game they could have won.
That's very fair. That's very fair. But England and US.
Yeah, Jordan, what do you think?
Wales.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Let's say England.
Wales.
I don't know if I'm too confident in the US.
US, yeah. That was my thing. I don't think England will be good enough, but I can't trust the US either.
No, man. England definitely good enough to leave the group
Wait,
stage.
then the US
And I am not. I am not an England fan at all.
Yeah.
Because as you say, I think their fans are delusional. I think they do have good bordering on great quality, but I think fans overhype some of the quality. Because some of the players who they think are
Who's that?
world-class
England
are
or
England?
Oh yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think some of the players who the fans think are world class. I don't think they're world class.
Yeah.
But outside of that, though, them have too much quality to not come out of this group. So England, but I'm not sure about US. I'll say England and US, but I'll say if there's anybody I'm not sure about is US.
That's fair.
They weren't the most. Just look at US in qualifying. They weren't the most convincing.
Which is what I was going to say after I said the thing about England. The two teams that I would pick, I'm unsure about either of them.
Just a quick question. Just like a side note, Rashford, do you think right now he deserves to be in the England squad going to Qatar in November?
I think he deserves to be in the squad.
Based on
In the squad?
if based on what you guys said, if we're talking about international form, then he should be in there over a lot of
Based
other players.
on
Club form.
your definition of how players should matriculate and make the squad, do you think Rashford should make this current England squad?
No, but then I could say that about half of the squad. So
I mean, but if you say about half of the squad, you have to name 6 players to replace them.
I could find players. Tyrone Mings is very bad at football. If we're talking about club performances, Luke Shaw shouldn't make it either. If we're being very honest, Walker-Peters has been better than him all season, and I think Ben Chilwell is better than him. So again, I'm not saying that they're better players, but if it's based on form, then there are players who should make it over Luke Shaw. Tyrone Mings, not disputable, is a very bad centre back. In fact, Gareth Southgate said out of his own mouth that he picks Tyrone Mings based off of height. Imagine getting called up because you're tall. Anyways, Harry Maguire as well. Already gone 3 players. I understand that you have glue guys in teams, but if you guys were to pick an England squad based on talent and form, does Jordan Henderson make it?
Yes, for me.
I reckon
I'd pick him enough. I'd pick him, but I wouldn't pick him because of him play. I'd pick him because he's the only leader on the
Leadership
team.
ability. Yeah.
Right.
But
I think he could start
Hell no.
in a double pivot. In a double pivot.
Yeah.
In a double pivot, he could start.
over
Jude.
Jude.
Jude doesn't start in the England team.
Yeah.
Over Henderson.
If we're looking at how Southgate is going to
how
play
he
his
plays,
team, is he's going to play
He's going to play a
5 at the
five
back,
back.
a double pivot, 3 up front.
Yeah.
So that double pivot, I feel like Declan Rice is cemented in there.
Yeah.
And based on the last Euros,
But I never
Calvin
played
Phillips was cemented
I never
in there.
played Dex and Henderson.
But
I played
Henderson
Dex
was
and
injured
Bellingham.
at the start of the last Euros.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Calvin Phillips got as much
Got
time
the-
as he did.
fair.
So if Jordan Henderson is completely fit going into this World Cup, I think he starts.
Yeah, man. It's just that I would probably someone like a Ben White.
Ben White. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
based on
saying.
form.
That's what I'm
If you're
saying.
looking
So
at form.
But obviously, that, and I mean, if we're being realistic, there are some players who just are in very bad situations club-wise, and Rashford is a perfect example of that. To answer Aidan's question, so I guess as a coach, you have to make that executive decision to decide if you feel like this player might be able to perform for your country versus your club. I'd pick him, but I'd only pick him because I'd pick him as a striker. I wouldn't pick him. There's no way him get any game time on either wing. I think he's an awful right winger, which is why he can't get any game for Man U now. And I don't think him get any play time at the left on the left side with Sterling and Foden playing out there. I think he's a better striker than Ali Watkins.
Okay,
Ali
well,
Watkins
this
is awful.
It's not an England video.
Right.
We have other groups to cover.
Right.
We have other groups to cover. Group C, looking at Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. That one.
I say Argentina and Mexico.
I'd say Argentina should definitely make it out to the group based on even their international form. I don't think Argentina has lost an international game since 2019.
Yeah, it's been
Like they've been on some very good
I think he's
form
at 20
as a
20
country.
plus games.
Yeah,
unbeaten.
they've been on a very good run of form as a country.
Mexico and Poland.
I think Argentina. I think Argentina makes it out. I think Argentina should top their group.
Yeah, they should.
And then I still have a debate between
Mexico
and Poland because this Mexico team is not the Mexico of old.
No.
Yeah,
that's true.
It really isn't.
But
and this Poland team is. I don't find this Poland team that good.
The problem is though with
They're
Mexico.
You remember Poland at the last World Cup?
Yeah, they really aren't.
The
Even in the
problem is-
Euros,
and
they
even
didn't
in
look
Euros,
great.
They struggle, and even Euros, they
Even
struggle.
in Euros, they
The
didn't
problem
look
with
great.
Mexico is though you can never really tell the type of team they are until the World Cup because they don't play their best players in the qualifiers. Like how many games did you see Hervin Lozano play? Obviously,
I saw him in that game against USA.
Jimenez was out for a while because of the head injury.
Yeah.
You have a few other players that they just did not play during the competition. I think it's one team we can say for sure. We
But
don't know
that could
what
also be to their detriment because
No,
you
for
just
sure.
try to shoehorn them into the team.
for
once-
sure. But
once
has
World
it
Cup comes.
not worked out for them
Yeah. Because
in previous
I
World
mean,
Cups?
you could say worked out, but when was the last time they won a World Cup?
I mean,
Like, you know
but
what I'm saying?
we're talking about the group stage.
Winning
not
the
who
World
they
Cup is a
win.
very high metric of success, to be fair.
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
So
Like
we're
in terms
talking
of
about
getting out of the group,
Yeah,
yeah.
getting out to the group.
yeah.
Poland
I
don't think they have enough talent to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I do is I don't look at the group alone. I look at the matchups. Because at the end of the day, you have to get the points. And I look at every team have to play each team once.
It's
And I
only
just
once.
look at it and I feel like Mexico beat Poland. They probably lose to Argentina and they beat Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And you
And
beat,
you're through.
Yeah, exactly. And it's true. So that's
I don't
that's
think Argentina should lose in this group.
they shouldn't lose a single game.
I don't think Argentina should lose in this group.
Yeah, the Argentina.
And they need to come first because you don't want to play the teams that you can play if you come second.
Yeah.
All right, so looking at group,
So far, just to be clear, we have
what was the final?
We have
analysis
Netherlands
on-
first and Senegal second.
in Group A,
England first and US
in
second.
Group B, Group C.
We're unsure about the US.
Yeah.
And I'm unsure about both.
But that's who I picked.
yeah, and then Argentina first and Mexico second.
Yeah.
I'd say Mexico. Mexico.
Group.
second.
I really want to hear what you guys say about Group E.
Group D. Now we have France, Denmark, Tunisia, and either what is this? This is
Australia.
Australia.
And
What's
what's that?
Oh, is that Peru?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think
The UAE.
UAE.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it could be either UAE, Australia, or Peru. So
Denmark and France
do
and Denmark.
you think any of those teams, if they were to qualify, you'd make it out of the group though?
No.
Austria,
No.
UAE, or Peru. All right. So basically, we're looking at France, Denmark, and Tunisia.
Yeah.
France and Denmark should
Yeah.
be
So,
even.
yeah, that should be
Yeah.
fairly simple.
France shouldn't lose a game. Denmark's only loss should be against France.
Yeah.
I reckon so. I think that
I
sounds
agree.
fair.
First and second place for this group.
Group E now. We're looking at Spain, Germany, Japan.
This would have been the
And
group that we were
either-
in if we did qualify.
That's New Zealand or who?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, this is a group we would end up in if we
If we had qualified.
went to the playoffs.
You mean you
and
have to
then,
go to the playoff? Just
yeah,
like
and then,
Costa Rica?
and then if we did beat Netherlands.
Yeah, Spain, Germany,
New
Japan,
Zealand.
and either New Zealand or Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Okay, so
So I think we know who's going through, but who's coming first and who's coming second?
Spain and Germany should go through.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody know, we
Thinks-
should figure that.
I think Spain should win this group.
I think so too. But
Spain should
why
win the
you say
group.
that?
I feel like even based on the last Euros,
Yeah,
Spain
I was
is
about
a
to say
better
that.
cohesive unit than Germany.
their trajectory is this way.
So my
it's a
problem
bit higher
is-
than
yeah.
Germany's is.
So my problem is this. Germany's I think we'd all agree that their weakest point is in defense.
Probably.
Their best defenders are good in certain systems. For example, Rudiger, as I've seen as a Chelsea fan, is not very good in a 2-back, but he's
Yeah, but they
excellent
play
in a
3-back
3-back.
at Germany.
Okay, fair. Who do they play beside him? They play Jonathan Tah and whoever else. So we don't know who's going to play beside him. Their weakest point is in defense. Spain's strongest point is in possession, which is also what Germany's strong point is too. Spain's problem is putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah,
If Alvaro Morata starts for Spain, they will come second in that group because the striker will score no goals. I think Ferran Torres and whoever plays on the opposite side will have to carry that goal scoring load. And if they play Gerard Moreno, for example, they should be fine. But I feel like that's where the question is for me. I think Spain goes through just because I feel like they have more talent and I feel like they'll dominate any midfield.
Yeah.
Every single midfield in that group, I feel like they dominate it.
Definitely.
But in terms of Germany can't defend well, at least at like one time, but then Spain can score like one time. So that match, obviously, between them will be the deciding factor.
Yeah, and I think that was Spain's problem at the last World Cup too.
And even the Euros, they started scoring goals really late.
Yeah, yeah. But goal scoring was their problem. But as you said, but then you look at the talent in midfield, and it's also very young.
Yeah,
with
Gavi and Pedri
Gavi
and
stuff.
yeah.
So, but still very high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what happened to them in the final, I don't remember which competition it was. They played
Nations
at the
League.
Nation League.
Yeah.
They could not put the ball in the back of
Yeah,
the net.
that's where France beat them.
And exactly, and that's the difference between France and every team. You say what you want about Giroud or Benzema or Griezmann or Mbappe. They have 4 people off the top of your head who will stick the ball in the back of the net any which
Mbappe
way.
definitely will.
Any which way. Mbappe will embarrass the keeper. Benzema will score. He snap your finger and him score.
Yeah.
They have
And it's good that they've brought back Benzema.
exactly, and they have Giroud and Griezmann is no scrub for France at least. For France, he's an excellent player. So and obviously they have like Pogba for France is a totally different player.
Yeah.
So I feel like they have a bunch of different players to put the ball in the back of the net. So I feel like should Spain be able to, get over that hump within the next 7 months? I feel like they should be able to well, not even 7 months, it's 8. It's 6. They should be able to top that group comfortably, at least.
Fair enough. All right, looking at Group F now: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
I'm not sure.
Belgium should make it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Belgium.
That second
I
place
think
spot,
Croatia. I think Croatia.
Croatia should make it out as well.
So
Not. I mean, you don't want to fall in love with what happened at the last tournament
World.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
4
yeah.
years
4
ago,
years ago.
and they have an aging.
And
Right?
they
Very
didn't have a
easy.
particularly stellar Euros.
Yeah.
So,
But
I mean,
but
but
even though-
I don't think Canada and Morocco have the firepower
Yeah,
to beat
exactly,
them. I
exactly.
don't think they do.
I had discussed this a couple of days ago, which is why I have my list here. With Canada, my thing is they have a lot. They have so much quality. I feel like, arguably, let's think about the strikers in that group. Who are the strikers in that group? Lukaku.
Belgium, you have Lukaku.
I don't know who strike for Morocco. I just know Hakimi play for them, and we don't know who can strike for Croatia.
Croatia.
They probably have arguably the best young striker in the entire competition. Jonathan David is a class young player. I think Canada's youth will be why I pick
How
Croatia
much-
over them. The youth, the fact
they're
that
too young.
they're so
how
young.
Much, yeah, because I was about to ask how much.
I think he have like 8 goals in CONCACAF and he never play every game.
Yeah, no, I know that, Jonathan David, the name has been linked to big teams as well.
Yeah.
But apart from that, how much do you put on the fact that, having never been there before? Because we've seen, remember, the thing about the World Cup is that you only have 3 group games.
Yeah.
And in those 3 group games, as you said, you're going to need a minimum of 4 points, right? But 6 will make you comfortable.
Yeah.
And you have to look at the matchups. And it's who you play first, right? So Canada going to play Belgium first, right? That's the first matchup they play?
I'm not sure.
And I'm not sure about who plays who
I'm not
first.
sure who them play 1st, right? But you go into a World Cup, you play the team that you play first and you get beaten. you're on 0 points. Them have the points, and then if the next game in that group,
Yeah.
the,
There's
the,
a
the next
winner.
team, the next team you're going to play win, or there's a winner whichever
Yeah,
way.
whichever, yeah.
All of a sudden, you are on the outside looking in,
And
then
under
panic's
pressure.
setting,
Yeah.
and you're a young team.
Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing. So sometimes we look at it and we look at the players,
Yeah.
and we think, okay,
And that's why I said I feel like the usefulness they won't be able to to tackle that type
so
of
I think
pressure.
so that's why I wouldn't pick Canada. So
Yeah.
I would say Belgium and Croatia.
Group G, I think should be fairly straightforward. I think Brazil and Switzerland goes through.
Yes,
Is that everybody agree with that?
yeah. I would give
Because-
Serbia outside chance.
Yeah,
But
but I reckon Switzerland goes
Switzerland
through.
should go too.
And Group H.
So this is where
So
I
wait,
think
so wait.
This is where I think-
we'll have one more African team. So we only picked one African team so far. Senegal.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the closest thing to a group of this that you have,
Group
and I'll
H,
explain
Group H,
why.
Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay. and South Korea.
South African teams are generally known like they're
South
very
Americans.
physical. South American, sorry, they're very physical teams.
Yeah.
We saw what Korea did at the last World Cup. It was when they knocked out Germany and everything. And Ghana has been, I think they had to go through the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, but they've been playing good football as well. And obviously Portugal is very hot and cold, with a pragmatic coach, with a very attacking team. So obviously I picked Portugal and Uruguay to go through, but in terms of like a group of this, I think it's the closest group. You cannot definitively say who will come
Yeah.
first or second, and you can't definitively say who can go through.
Yeah,
I agree with
and,
that.
and you know that Ghana Uruguay matchup is going to be a bit of a grudge match.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the
with
history of the
Suarez.
handball.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I think, I agree with you. I think it's still that one up in the air. You can't really say with certainty. Portugal has the most quality. In
For
that
sure.
group. But what will you get from, as you mentioned, South Korea, based on what they did at the last World Cup, and you know they'll spring a surprise,
Yeah.
right? Can you depend on Ghana? Hot and cold.
Hot
you know,
and cold, yeah.
you know, how much can you depend on them really? And then Uruguay has tradition on their side, and they have history. And as you mentioned, these South American teams play very, very physical, and that can be to your advantage in cup play. In this kind of football
Yeah.
where you just need results.
Yeah.
It's not about fanciness, you just need results. So I think this one is the most up in there. I don't know who you have coming out of this one.
yeah, we said Portugal and Uruguay.
Portugal and Uruguay.
I said Portugal and Uruguay. But yeah, that's it. That's all the groups covered. Obviously, you know, we're just from the outside looking in. We have to see how it plays out.
And
in
it's
November.
also April.
It's also April.
It
Things
can change. Yeah.
Maybe a couple more international windows. You know, everything gets come together. Maybe 1 or 2 injuries. Hopefully not. I hope everybody's fit and ready for the World Cup, and we can able to see a really great tournament. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you to Jordan again for being here. All right.